The paradox of choice, a concept popularized by psychologist Barry Schwartz, suggests that while having some choices can be beneficial, too many options can actually lead to feelings of anxiety, confusion, and dissatisfaction. Imagine walking into a grocery store and facing an entire aisle dedicated to breakfast cereals. With so many choices, from sugary varieties to healthy options, it becomes overwhelming. Instead of feeling empowered by the abundance of possibilities, many people end up feeling paralyzed, unable to make a decision. This paradox can manifest in various aspects of life, from shopping to career choices and even in personal relationships. The more options we have, the more we tend to question our decisions, leading to second-guessing and regret. Studies have shown that when individuals are presented with a smaller number of choices, they often feel more satisfied with their decisions and experience less stress. The impact of the paradox of choice extends to mental health. When faced with an overwhelming number of options, individuals may experience increased anxiety levels as they worry about making the wrong choice. This phenomenon is often linked to a decrease in overall happiness, as people might dwell on what they missed out on rather than appreciating what they have chosen. In a world that increasingly emphasizes individualism and personal freedom, the paradox of choice reminds us that sometimes less is more. It encourages us to reflect on how we can simplify our choices, perhaps by setting limits or prioritizing what truly matters to us, which can lead to a greater sense of satisfaction and well-being. The paradox of hedonism, a concept that often intrigues those who delve into the philosophy of happiness, presents a fascinating challenge to the pursuit of joy and fulfillment. At its core, the paradox suggests that directly seeking pleasure and happiness might actually lead to the opposite outcome. When individuals focus intensely on seeking pleasure, they can become so preoccupied with the idea of happiness that it eludes them, much like trying to catch a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it flutters away. This idea is rooted in the belief that happiness is often a byproduct of engaging in meaningful activities rather than the result of actively pursuing pleasure itself. For instance, research has shown that people who engage in activities for intrinsic reasons, like volunteering, pursuing hobbies, or building relationships, often report higher levels of satisfaction than those who seek pleasure as the primary goal. This suggests that happiness might be more effectively achieved through connections, experiences, and personal growth, rather than indulgence in transient pleasures, such as excessive eating or partying, which can lead to emptiness and dissatisfaction. Moreover, the paradox highlights the role of expectations in our happiness. When individuals set high expectations for their pleasure-seeking activities, they often set themselves up for disappointment. If a person believes that a particular event, like a vacation or a party, will bring them ultimate happiness, they may find themselves feeling let down when the experience doesn't meet their lofty expectations. This dissonance can lead to a cycle of constantly searching for the next big thrill, which can be exhausting and ultimately unfulfilling. Additionally, the paradox of hedonism raises questions about the sustainability of pleasure. Many pleasures are fleeting. They provide a momentary high, but once the moment passes, individuals may find themselves craving more. This cycle can lead to a constant state of wanting rather than appreciating what one has. For example, someone who constantly seeks new experiences, like traveling to exotic places or trying the latest trends, may find that after the initial excitement fades, they are left feeling unfulfilled, and this can create a sense of emptiness or dissatisfaction that is difficult to shake off. Interestingly, some psychologists suggest that fostering gratitude and mindfulness can be effective antidotes to the paradox of hedonism. By focusing on the present moment and appreciating what one has, individuals can cultivate a deeper sense of satisfaction that is not solely based on the pursuit of pleasure. Mindfulness practices encourage individuals to reflect on their experiences and find joy in everyday interactions. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a fascinating psychological phenomenon. It occurs when individuals with low ability, knowledge, or experience in a particular area overestimate their own competence. This effect was identified by social psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger, who conducted a study that highlighted how people who are less skilled are often unaware of their lack of skill. They tend to believe that they are better than average, which creates a paradox, because the very things that prevent them from performing well also inhibit their ability to recognize their shortcomings. The paradox lies in the idea that those who are most incompetent are often the least able to realize it, while those who are more competent tend to underestimate their abilities. This can lead to a situation where the most skilled individuals are more aware of their limitations, prompting them to doubt themselves. Where the Dunning-Kruger effect has wide-ranging implications, especially in educational settings and workplaces, where it can affect performance evaluations and contribute to misunderstandings in teamwork. People who are underqualified may take on tasks or roles beyond their capabilities, thinking they can do them well, while those who are actually capable may shy away from taking on challenges due to their heightened self-awareness. This creates a unique dynamic where the less competent are more likely to take risks and assert themselves, while the more competent might hold back, leading to inefficiencies and missed opportunities. Moreover, this effect can be seen in various areas of life, from politics to everyday decision-making, where individuals might confidently express opinions on subjects they know little about, often leading to misinformation or misguided beliefs. This phenomenon highlights the importance of self-awareness and the value of seeking feedback, as recognizing one's own limitations can be crucial for personal and professional growth. The Dunning-Kruger effect reminds us that confidence does not always correlate with actual ability, and it encourages a culture of humility, where individuals are open to learning and acknowledge that there is always more to understand. The paradox of thrift presents a fascinating look into how individual behavior can have unexpected outcomes on the economy, especially during recessions. Essentially, the paradox suggests that while it is wise for individuals to save money during tough economic times, if everyone cuts back on spending at the same time, it can actually lead to a worsening economic situation. When people become concerned about their financial future, they might decide to save more money, meaning they spend less on goods and services. This decrease in consumer spending can lead to lower sales for businesses, which may then respond by cutting back on production and potentially laying off workers. The ripple effect continues, as with fewer people employed, there is even less income circulating in the economy, prompting further reductions in spending. This behavior, rooted in caution and the desire for financial security, inadvertently contributes to a larger economic decline, as businesses struggle with reduced demand for their products and services. In a recession, when everyone is trying to save, the overall economy suffers because the collective action of saving leads to decreased economic activity. This is counterintuitive, yet it highlights a key concept in economics. Individual, rational behavior can lead to irrational outcomes on a larger scale. Moreover, the paradox of thrift also influences policymakers, as they grapple with the need to stimulate the economy during downturns. Governments often respond with stimulus measures, hoping to encourage spending and investment, counteracting the natural inclination of consumers to save. This dilemma illustrates the complexity of economic behavior, especially in times of crisis, where instincts to save collide with a need for overall economic health. As individuals navigate their financial decisions, they must consider not only their personal circumstances, but also the broader implications of their actions on the economy. It's a delicate balance, and understanding the paradox of thrift can shed light on why economies can be so challenging to manage during recessions, as the interplay between individual choices and collective outcomes creates a dynamic that can be difficult to predict. The paradox of the unexpected in personal growth refers to the idea that sometimes the most significant moments of development and change come from unforeseen circumstances rather than from our planned efforts or goals. This concept suggests that when we intentionally set out to achieve something, we often become fixated on specific outcomes, which can lead to disappointment if things do not go as expected. However, it is in the moments of unpredictability, those instances where life takes an unexpected turn, that we often find the greatest opportunities for learning and transformation. For instance, a person may face an unexpected job loss, which initially feels like a setback, but can ultimately lead them to discover new passions, develop resilience, or even start an entirely new career that they never considered before. This paradox highlights the importance of being open to change and embracing uncertainty, as it is often in these situations that we are pushed out of our comfort zones, leading to growth that we could not have anticipated. When we are too focused on a predetermined path, we may miss out on valuable lessons or experiences that come from unexpected challenges. For example, an individual might embark on a journey of self-improvement, setting specific goals related to fitness or education, yet it is a chance encounter with a mentor or a sudden health scare that ultimately leads to profound shifts in their mindset and priorities. Moreover, the paradox of the unexpected emphasizes that personal growth is not always a linear process. It can be messy and unpredictable, filled with twists and turns that often lead us to better versions of ourselves. This means that rather than resisting change or trying to control every aspect of our lives, there is value in being adaptable and accepting that sometimes the best outcomes arise from situations that we did not foresee. Embracing this paradox can cultivate a mindset that allows individuals to remain curious and open to new experiences, which can enhance creativity and innovation in their personal and professional lives. In essence, the paradox of the unexpected serves as a reminder that life is filled with surprises, and by being receptive to these surprises, we can unlock new avenues for growth and self-discovery, often leading us to places we never imagined we would go. This perspective not only encourages resilience in the face of challenges, but also fosters a deeper appreciation for the journey of personal growth itself, as it becomes clear that the most transformative experiences may come from the moments we least expect. The paradox of progress is a fascinating concept that highlights the complex relationship between technological advancement and quality of life. While it is often assumed that as technology improves, our lives must also get better, the reality can be more complicated. On one hand, technology has brought us incredible improvements, such as advances in medicine, communication, and transportation. For instance, the development of vaccines has saved countless lives, and the internet has connected people across the globe in ways that were unimaginable just a few decades ago. These innovations have contributed significantly to increased life expectancy, improved education, and greater access to information. However, there's a flip side to all this progress, that affect our quality of life. For example, the rise of social media has changed the way we interact, leading to issues like cyberbullying, anxiety, and feelings of isolation, despite being more connected than ever. Moreover, rapid technological change can create job displacement, as automation and artificial intelligence replace tasks previously done by humans, leading to economic insecurity for many workers. This can foster feelings of alienation and dissatisfaction, even in societies that are more technologically advanced. Additionally, the environmental impact of technological progress cannot be ignored. While innovations may improve efficiency, they can also lead to increased consumption and waste, contributing to climate change and environmental degradation. People are becoming more aware of these issues, and while technology can offer solutions, such as renewable energy sources, the transition can be slow and fraught with obstacles. The paradox lies in the fact that, despite our technological capabilities, many people still face significant challenges to their well-being. The advancements that are intended to improve our lives can sometimes lead to greater inequality, as those who have access to the latest technology can benefit disproportionately, while others may be left behind. This creates a scenario where progress is not universally experienced, leading to discontent and a sense of injustice among those who feel marginalized by the very advancements that are supposed to uplift society as a whole. Furthermore, the pace of change can be overwhelming, as people struggle to adapt to new technologies and the constant flow of information, which can lead to stress and burnout. Balancing the benefits of progress with its potential drawbacks is an ongoing challenge as society navigates the complexities of modern life. The paradox of progress serves as a reminder that while we strive for advancement, it's crucial to consider the broader implications on human experience and the environment, ensuring that technology serves to enhance rather than deprive us of time and its impact on our lives. At its core, this paradox highlights the strange way in which we experience time, where it seems to move both quickly and slowly, depending on our activities and emotions. For instance, when we are engaged in something enjoyable, time often appears to fly by, while during moments of boredom or discomfort, it can feel like it stretches indefinitely. This subjective nature of time can lead us to question our priorities and how will we allocate our limited time on Earth. As we grow older, many people notice that the years seem to pass more rapidly. This phenomenon is sometimes attributed to the way we process experiences and memories. When we are young, each year is filled with new experiences and milestones, which creates a rich tapestry of memories. However, as we age, our routines often become more predictable and repetitive, leading to fewer unique memories being formed. Consequently, the perception of time can feel compressed, making us more acutely aware of its fleeting nature. This realization can prompt us to reflect on what truly matters in our lives, pushing us to reassess our priorities and consider how we want to spend our time. More people may find themselves prioritizing immediate pleasures over long-term goals, driven by the urgency of the present moment, often forgetting that time, while seemingly infinite, is also finite. This can lead to a conflict between short-term gratification and long-term fulfillment, urging individuals to think carefully about their choices. For example, someone might choose to binge watch a series rather than pursue a hobby that could enhance their skills or foster meaningful relationships, ultimately leading to feelings of regret as they contemplate their life choices later on. Additionally, the awareness of time's paradox can inspire a sense of urgency in people, encouraging them to seize the day, to embrace opportunities, and to make the most of their time. This has led to popular philosophies like Carpe Diem or Seize the Day, which advocate for living in the moment and making every second count. However, this perspective also comes with a caution. While it's important to enjoy life and take risks, it's equally vital to balance spontaneity with thoughtful planning for the future. In a world that often emphasizes productivity and achievement, the paradox of time can serve as a reminder to evaluate not just what we do with our time, but how we feel about those things. The paradox of vulnerability is a fascinating concept, especially when we consider how it plays a crucial role in developing authentic relationships. It might seem counterintuitive, but being vulnerable often leads to deeper connections between people. When individuals allow themselves to be open and share their fears, insecurities, and true selves, they create an environment of trust and acceptance. This openness invites others to reciprocate, fostering a sense of safety that encourages mutual sharing, which is essential for building strong bonds. When someone expresses vulnerability, they show that they are human, they reveal their imperfections, and this honest portrayal often resonates with others, creating a bridge of empathy. People tend to connect more deeply with those who are willing to expose their true emotions, because it reminds them that they are not alone in their struggles. Furthermore, vulnerability can dismantle the walls we often build around ourselves, leading to a more genuine interaction where both parties feel valued and seen. This kind of authenticity can be incredibly liberating. In relationships, whether they are friendships or romantic partnerships, the willingness to be vulnerable can also lead to greater understanding. When partners share their vulnerabilities, they can better navigate conflicts and misunderstandings, because vulnerability lays the groundwork for effective communication, allowing individuals to express their needs and concerns without fear of judgment or rejection. This openness leads to a more resilient relationship, as both parties learn to navigate challenges together with empathy and support. Moreover, vulnerability can challenge the societal norms that often dictate how we should behave in relationships. Many people are raised to believe that showing weakness is a flaw, but the paradox of vulnerability teaches us that true strength lies in embracing our imperfections. This shift in perspective not only enriches our relationships, but also promotes personal growth, as individuals learn to accept themselves and others more fully. It's worth noting that vulnerability does not mean oversharing or exposing oneself to harm. It's about being authentic in a way that is safe and respectful, Understanding the right moments and context to share personal feelings is key. This discernment allows for vulnerability to enhance relationships without crossing boundaries. Ultimately, the paradox of vulnerability reveals that the more we allow ourselves to be seen, the more we invite genuine connections into our lives, making our relationships not just deeper but also more fulfilling. The paradox of control in stress management is a fascinating concept that highlights how our desire to exert control over our lives can sometimes lead to increased stress rather than alleviation. The idea revolves around the belief that when we feel in control, we tend to experience less stress. However, the opposite can also be true. When we try too hard to control every aspect of our lives, whether it's our work, relationships, or even our emotions, we can create unnecessary pressure and anxiety. This leads to a situation where the more we seek to control our environment, the more stress we may actually invite into our lives. For example, when individuals face uncertainties, like job changes or health issues, they often attempt to manage their stress by planning every detail, anticipating every possible outcome, and trying to dictate their circumstances. While having a plan can certainly be beneficial, this excessive need for control can backfire, causing feelings of frustration when things don't go as expected or when unforeseen events arise. People may find themselves feeling overwhelmed as they grapple with the realization that not everything can be controlled, which can lead to a cycle of stress and anxiety. When we encounter stressors, we might feel that by controlling our reactions, we can manage our stress levels. Yet, this can lead to emotional suppression where we push down our feelings instead of processing them. By not allowing ourselves to experience and express our emotions, we may inadvertently increase our stress levels, making it even harder to cope with the challenges we face. Additionally, the paradox of control also applies to our relationships. People often believe that by trying to control the actions or reactions of others, they can create a stable environment that reduces stress. However, this can lead to strained relationships, as others may feel manipulated or pressured, which adds to the overall stress of the situation. Healthy relationships are built on trust and mutual understanding, rather than attempts to control one another. In light of this paradox, effective stress management often involves recognizing the limits of our control and learning to let go of the need to manage every aspect of our lives. This doesn't mean being passive or giving up on our goals, but rather it's about finding a balance between taking action where we can and accepting the uncertainty of life. Mindfulness practices, for instance, encourage individuals to focus on the present moment, helping them to release the need for control and reducing stress. By accepting that some things, the paradox of knowledge often creates a somewhat intriguing yet complex situation regarding our willingness to learn, as it suggests that the more we know, the more we may feel we know, and conversely, the more we realize how much we don't know, which can lead to a sense of inertia. When individuals gain a certain level of understanding in a subject, they might experience a false sense of mastery, believing they have acquired enough knowledge, which can diminish their motivation to further delve into that area. This can be particularly evident in academic settings or professional environments, where someone might reach a plateau, feeling confident in their skills but unaware of the deeper layers and nuances that exist within that field, leading to stagnation in their learning journey. On the flip side, as people continue to learn and expand their knowledge, they often encounter the vastness of what remains unknown, which can be both exciting and daunting. This realization, while it can inspire curiosity and a desire for deeper exploration, may also instill a sense of overwhelm, causing some to hesitate in pursuing new information or skills, fearing they might never fully grasp the entirety of a subject. Moreover, the paradox of knowledge can influence our perception of ourselves as learners. When we think we know a lot, we might become less open to new ideas, less eager to listen, and less willing to engage in discussions that challenge our views, thus closing off potential pathways for growth. This phenomenon is sometimes referred to as the Dunning-Kruger effect, where individuals with limited knowledge in a domain overestimate their competence, leading them to avoid further learning opportunities because they feel unnecessarily confident. Conversely, those who are more knowledgeable tend to have a better understanding of their limitations, which can lead to greater humility, an eagerness to learn, and a recognition of the value of continuous education. This creates a fascinating cycle where increased awareness of one's own ignorance can actually enhance the desire to seek out new knowledge. In essence, the paradox of knowledge serves as a double-edged sword. Deplorable prejudices. It can inspire relentless curiosity in some, while simultaneously prompting complacency in others. Reflection on how we approach learning, urging us to remain open and adaptable even when we feel we have a solid grasp of a topic. Recognizing this paradox can empower individuals to embrace a growth mindset, where challenges are seen as opportunities and the journey of learning is appreciated as an ongoing process rather than a destination. Understanding this dynamic can fundamentally change how we think about a separate context and then change our progress towards a better place in life. The paradox of generosity is a fascinating concept that explores the relationship between giving and personal fulfillment, suggesting that those who give to others often find greater happiness and satisfaction in their own lives, which might seem counterintuitive at first, since many people could assume that focusing on oneself would lead to more personal happiness. Research in psychology and sociology has shown that acts of generosity, whether through volunteering, donating money, or simply helping someone in need, can lead to a sense of purpose and connection that enhances one's overall well-being. This paradox can be understood through various studies, which indicate that when individuals engage in altruistic behavior, they often experience what is called the helper's high, a feeling of euphoria that comes from helping others, which triggers the release of endorphins and can create a positive feedback loop, leading to more generous behavior. Additionally, generosity can foster stronger social bonds, as giving often leads to increased trust and reciprocity among individuals, creating communities where people feel supported and valued. Furthermore, individuals who practice generosity tend to report lower levels of depression and anxiety, as they often feel more connected to others and have a greater sense of belonging, which is essential for mental health. The paradox also underscores the idea that personal fulfillment often comes from contributing to something larger than oneself, encouraging people to look beyond their own needs and to invest in the well-being of others. This, in turn, can lead to a more meaningful life, as individuals discover that their actions have a positive impact on those around them, reinforcing the notion that true happiness is not just about personal gain, but about the connections we build and the lives we touch. Ultimately, the paradox of generosity illustrates that when we give freely, we not only enrich the lives of others but also nurture our own spirit, making our journey through life more fulfilling and rewarding. The paradox of self-improvement is a fascinating yet complex phenomenon where the very act of striving to better oneself can often result in feelings of dissatisfaction rather than fulfillment. This paradox arises from the inherent nature of self-improvement, which is typically rooted in the desire for growth, achievement, and personal satisfaction. However, when individuals set high expectations for themselves, they may find that the journey towards the goals often leads to a heightened sense of pressure and anxiety. As people work towards improvement, they frequently compare themselves to others, or this constant comparison can foster feelings of disappointment, especially when progress does not occur as quickly as hoped or when setbacks arise along the way. Moreover, the pursuit of self-improvement can become an endless cycle where individuals feel they must continually strive for more, never fully acknowledging or celebrating their achievements. This relentless drive can lead to a state of chronic dissatisfaction, as individuals may always feel that they are falling short, regardless of how far they have come. Instead of appreciating the journey and the incremental progress made, many may focus solely on the destination, which can create a sense of emptiness when they reach their goals. Additionally, societal pressures and cultural messages often glorify continuous improvement, leading individuals to believe that they must always be better or more in order to achieve happiness. This external pressure can exacerbate internal feelings of inadequacy, making the cycle of self-improvement feel more like a burden than a path to fulfillment. Interestingly, this paradox can also be linked to a phenomenon known as the hedonic treadmill. This concept suggests that as people achieve their goals, their expectations and desires tend to rise, leading them to pursue even greater achievements in hopes of finding lasting satisfaction. However, this can result in a perpetual state of wanting, where individuals are always chasing the next milestone, leaving them feeling unfulfilled, even after they have accomplished significant feats. The paradox of self-improvement is further complicated by the fact that many individuals are not taught how to effectively manage their expectations or to appreciate the small victories along their journey. As a result, may become frustrated when they fail to meet the unrealistic standards they have set for themselves. In essence, while self-improvement can lead to personal growth and development, it can also create an environment ripe for dissatisfaction, particularly when individuals become overly fixated on their goals. Neglecting to recognize the value of the paradox of effort is an intriguing concept that highlights the sometimes counterintuitive relationship between the amount of effort we put into a task and the outcomes we achieve. At first glance, it seems logical that the harder we work, the more successful we should be, right? However, this paradox suggests that in certain situations, putting in more effort can actually lead to less desirable results. This phenomenon can be explained by a few key factors. For instance, when individuals become overly fixated on the outcome, they may experience increased stress and anxiety, which can lead to a decrease in performance. This is often referred to as choking under pressure, where the pressure to succeed becomes so overwhelming that it hampers one's ability to perform at their best. Additionally, the paradox can manifest in the form of diminishing returns. In simple terms, this means that after a certain point, adding more effort does not yield proportional improvements in results. Think about studying for an exam. While initial study sessions may significantly boost comprehension and retention of information, as students continue to cram, their ability to absorb new material may decline, leading to fatigue and mental burnout. This concept also applies to various fields, from sports, where athletes sometimes perform poorly when they try to push themselves beyond their limits, to creative endeavors, where forcing creativity can stifle inspiration and lead to blocks. Moreover, the paradox of effort can hinder success by fostering a fixed mindset, where individuals believe that their abilities are static and unchangeable. This mindset can make them resistant to feedback or new learning opportunities, ultimately stunting their growth. In contrast, a growth mindset encourages individuals to embrace challenges and view effort as a pathway to development rather than a measure of self-worth. This paradox also plays into the social comparisons we often make. When we see others achieving success with what seems like less effort, we might question our own methods, leading to frustration and self-doubt. This can create a cycle where we feel the need to exert even more effort, hoping to replicate someone else's success, but instead we may end up feeling overwhelmed and discouraged. In professional settings, the paradox can manifest in the workplace, where employees might put in long hours believing that sheer effort will lead to promotions or recognition. However, this can backfire if it leads to burnout, decreased productivity, or negatively impacts work-life balance. Organizations that value outcomes over the amount of effort expended tend to foster healthier, more sustainable work environments. Understanding the paradox. The paradox of safety is a fascinating concept that plays a significant role in shaping our risk-taking behaviors, and it can be understood through various lenses, including psychology, sociology, and even economics. At its core, the paradox suggests that the more secure and safe we feel, the more likely we are to engage in activities that involve risk. This may seem counterintuitive, as one would expect that feeling secure would lead to more cautious behavior. However, research indicates that when individuals perceive themselves as being in a safe environment, they often become emboldened to take risks, as they believe the consequences of failure will be mitigated by their sense of security. For instance, studies have shown that in workplaces where employees feel safe, they are more likely to take creative risks, propose innovative ideas, and challenge the status quo, because they trust that their efforts will be supported. rather than punish. This is particularly relevant in environments like technology or creative industries, where innovation is crucial and a certain level of risk-taking is necessary for growth and advancement. On the other hand, in scenarios where individuals feel insecure or threatened, they tend to adopt more conservative strategies, avoiding risk altogether, as they fear that any misstep could lead to dire consequences. Moreover, the paradox of safety can also be observed in personal decision-making. For instance, individuals who have a stable income and a secure job may be more inclined to invest in high-risk ventures, such as starting a new business or investing in the stock market, compared to someone who is struggling to make ends meet, who might avoid any financial risks out of fear of losing their current stability. This dynamic explains why people often engage in extreme sports or adventurous activities. When they are on vacation or in relaxed settings, the surrounding safety nets, like insurance or the presence of safety personnel, encourage them to push their boundaries. Additionally, the social aspect plays a role in this paradox. When individuals see their peers taking risks successfully, their own sense of safety can increase, leading them to engage in similar behavior. This phenomenon is often observed in social media, where influencers and trendsetters showcase their adventurous pursuits, inspiring others to follow suit, as they feel a sense of community and support around their risk. In essence, the paradox of safety suggests that our perceptions of safety significantly influence how we approach risks, leading us to take bolder steps when we feel secure, while at the same time, our actual safety can be compromised by taking those very risks, creating an opportunity that generates opportunity that rather happens on the computer that proliferates in our prices is a fascinating concept that highlights how competition, rather than simply driving businesses to lower prices or cut corners, can actually serve as a powerful catalyst for innovation. In a highly competitive market, companies are pushed to differentiate themselves, to stand out from the crowd, and this drive for uniqueness often leads to the development of new ideas, products, and technologies. When businesses are competing for the same customers, they are motivated to improve their offerings, which can result in better quality, increased efficiency, and more creative solutions. For example, think about the technology sector, where companies like Apple, Samsung, and Google are constantly trying to outdo each other. They invest heavily in research and development, striving to bring cutting-edge features and advancements to their devices, which not only benefits consumers but also sets new standards in the industry. Moreover, the paradox extends to the way companies approach problem-solving. In a competitive environment, firms are more likely to take risks, to experiment with new ideas, and to embrace failure as a learning opportunity. This willingness to innovate can lead to breakthroughs that might not have occurred in a less competitive setting. For instance, the automotive industry has seen tremendous advancements in electric vehicles and automation, driven by the fierce competition among manufacturers to appeal to environmentally conscious consumers and to stay ahead of regulatory changes. Interestingly, the paradox also suggests that too much competition can sometimes stifle innovation. When companies are overly focused on beating their rivals, they may prioritize short-term gains over long-term investment in innovation. This can create a scenario where businesses become risk-averse, sticking to what has worked in the past rather than exploring uncharted territories. Therefore, a balance is needed. Healthy competition can spur innovation, but excessive pressure can lead to stagnation. Additionally, the paradox of competition can be observed in various industries, such as pharmaceuticals, where companies compete to develop new drugs and treatments. This competition can accelerate research and development, leading to faster discoveries that can save lives. However, when companies become too focused on outdoing each other, they may also engage in practices that prioritize profits over patient welfare, which highlights the complexity of the relationship between competition and innovation. In summary, the paradox of competition illustrates how the drive to outperform rivals can lead to significant advancements and innovations, while also reminding us of the potential pitfalls that can arise when companies become too consumed by the race to win. Ultimately, it demonstrates that competition, when harnessed effectively, can foster an environment ripe for the paradox of failure, often seen as a negative experience. actually plays a significant role in building resilience, which is the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt to change, and keep going in the face of adversity. When people encounter failure, it can feel disheartening, leading to feelings of disappointment or frustration. However, this very experience also presents an opportunity for growth and learning, which is crucial for developing resilience. By facing failure, individuals are forced to confront their limitations and reassess their strategies. This process encourages critical thinking as they analyze what went wrong, what could have been done differently, and how to approach similar situations in the future. Moreover, experiencing failure often fosters a sense of humility, reminding individuals that success is not always guaranteed and that everyone, no matter how skilled or talented, faces challenges. This humility can lead to a more realistic view of one's abilities and potential, which in turn helps build resilience. When people understand that failure is a part of the journey, they are more likely to take risks and pursue their goals, knowing that setbacks are normal and can lead to valuable lessons. Additionally, the emotional response to failure can be transformative. When individuals experience disappointment, they often develop stronger emotional coping skills. They learn to manage their feelings of sadness, anger, or frustration, which equips them to handle future challenges more effectively. This emotional growth is a critical component of resilience, as it enables individuals to maintain a positive outlook even when facing difficulties. Furthermore, the paradox of failure highlights the importance of perseverance. When someone fails but chooses to keep trying, they build a sense of determination and grit, which are essential traits for resilience. The more one encounters and overcomes failure, the more confidence they gain in their ability to navigate life's obstacles. It's also interesting to note that many successful people attribute their achievements to past failures. They often share stories of how their setbacks motivated them to work harder, think more creatively, and develop new skills. Powerful reminder that failure is not the end, but rather a crucial part of the journey towards success. In this way, the paradox of failure not only contributes to resilience, but also reshapes how individuals perceive challenges, encouraging a mindset that embraces learning and growth rather than one that fears failure. Ultimately, the relationship between failure and resilience underscores a vital truth. Setbacks can The paradox of acceptance in dealing with change is quite an intriguing concept, as it highlights the complex relationship between accepting a situation and the ability to initiate change. At its core, the paradox suggests that when individuals fully accept a situation, particularly one that is challenging or undesirable, they often find themselves more empowered to make meaningful changes. This may seem counterintuitive, but the reasoning behind it delves into the psychology of acceptance and resistance. When people resist or fight against their current circumstances, they may expend a lot of energy on frustration, anger, or denial, which can hinder their ability to think clearly about what steps to take next. However, when they embrace acceptance, they can free themselves from those negative emotions, allowing for a more objective perspective. Acceptance does not mean giving up or resigning oneself to a situation. Rather, it means acknowledging reality, which can open up pathways for constructive action. For instance, consider someone who has lost a job. Initially, they might feel a strong sense of resistance, grappling with feelings of unfairness or panic. But if they move toward acceptance, they can start looking at their skills, exploring new opportunities, or even pursuing further education. This shift in mindset can lead to creative solutions and a clearer vision for the future. Moreover, the paradox also points to the idea that acceptance can reduce anxiety and stress, both of which are common barriers to effective decision-making. When individuals accept change, they might find that they are more adaptable, enabling them to respond to new circumstances with resilience rather than fear. In relationships, for example, acceptance of the fact that people evolve and change can lead to healthier interactions, where each person is allowed to grow rather than being held back by rigid expectations. This concept also extends to broader societal changes, where accepting the realities of a situation, such as climate change or social injustices, can motivate individuals and communities to take action rather than feel paralyzed by despair. The paradox of acceptance thus encourages a balance between recognizing what is and envisioning what could be, fostering a mindset that not only acknowledges difficulties, but also inspires proactive steps toward improvement. The paradox of identity, a fascinating concept, invites us to explore how our understanding of self is shaped by both the unchanging essence of who we are and the ever-changing circumstances of our lives. On one hand, we might think of our identity as something stable, something that defines us consistently over time, such as our name, our genetic makeup, or perhaps our core values. However, at the same time, our experiences, relationships, and environments constantly influence and reshape our identities, leading to a fluidity that can sometimes feel contradictory. For instance, consider how a person might identify as a parent, a professional, or a friend, and how these roles can shift in importance or prominence depending on life's circumstances. This dual nature of identity raises intriguing questions about what it truly means to know oneself. It suggests that our self-perception is not just a reflection of who we think we are, but also a complex interplay of our past experiences and future aspirations. Moreover, our identities can be influenced by societal expectations, cultural backgrounds, and even historical contexts, complicating our understanding further. Take, for instance, the impact of social media, which can amplify certain aspects of our identities while obscuring others, leading to a curated version of self that might not fully capture our true essence. This raises the question of whether we are genuinely presenting our authentic selves online, or if we are merely adopting identities that are more socially acceptable or desirable. The paradox of identity thus challenges us to reconcile these different aspects of ourselves, prompting a deeper inquiry into how we define who we are. Furthermore, the concept of identity is not static. It evolves as we grow and encounter new experiences. This is particularly evident during significant life transitions, such as moving to a new city, starting a new job, or entering a different stage of life, like becoming a parent or retiring. Each of these changes can prompt a reevaluation of our identity and the roles we play, leading to a sense of renewal or, at times, confusion about our place in the world. It compels us to ask ourselves, if I change, do I remain the same person? This question reflects the tension between continuity and change, a core element of the paradox of identity. Additionally, there's the philosophical discussion surrounding identity, particularly in regard to personal continuity. Think of the famous thought experiment known as the ship of Theseus, which questions whether a ship that has had all of its components replaced over time is still the abundant. The paradox of abundance refers to the phenomenon where having access to a wide variety of choices and options can actually lead to increased stress and dissatisfaction, rather than happiness. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with choices, whether it's what to eat, what to wear, or which entertainment to consume, this abundance can create a sense of overwhelm. When faced with so many options, people often struggle to make decisions, fearing that they might choose poorly or miss out on something better. This can lead to what's known as analysis paralysis, where the sheer number of choices makes it difficult to commit to any one option, causing frustration and anxiety. Additionally, the paradox of abundance can create unrealistic expectations. With so many alternatives readily available, individuals might start to believe that they deserve only the best, which can lead to dissatisfaction when reality doesn't meet those high standards. For instance, if someone is trying to choose a restaurant from a lengthy list of highly rated places, they might feel stressed about picking the one that will provide the best experience, leading to second-guessing and regretting their choice after the fact. This sense of regret can accumulate, making people feel as though they are constantly missing out on better options, which is often referred to as FOMO, or fear of missing out. The overwhelming nature of having too many choices can also diminish the enjoyment of the decision-making process itself. When there are fewer options, individuals can focus more on what they genuinely want, and the decision feels more straightforward and satisfying. However, in an environment of abundance, the mental energy required to sift through various possibilities can result in fatigue, leading to increased stress levels. This stress can manifest in various ways, including anxiety, indecision, or even a desire to avoid making choices altogether. Moreover, research suggests that people often feel a greater sense of happiness when they have limited choices. In studies, participants who faced a smaller array of options reported greater satisfaction with their decisions compared to those who had to choose from a larger selection. This indicates that sometimes less is indeed more, as fewer choices can lead to a more fulfilling experience, reducing the cognitive load and allowing for a more enjoyable decision-making process. In summary, the paradox of abundance highlights the complex relationship between choice and well-being. While having more options can seem appealing, it can actually lead to stress, anxiety, and a sense of dissatisfaction, ultimately making us question whether more truly is better when it comes to the choices we face in our lives. The paradox of loneliness is a fascinating and often perplexing phenomenon that strikes at the heart of human relationships. At first glance, one might assume that being lonely means being isolated, cut off from social connections, and devoid of companionship. However, loneliness can exist even in crowded rooms, surrounded by friends, and this contradiction is where the paradox lies. When individuals feel lonely, they often experience a deep sense of disconnection, which can lead to a variety of emotional responses, including sadness, anxiety, and even anger. This emotional turmoil can create a barrier that makes it difficult for people to reach out, to engage, or to connect with others, which in turn can exacerbate feelings of loneliness. Moreover, the paradox of loneliness can affect social connections in several ways. For they might feel that others cannot relate to their feelings, leading to a cycle of isolation. This withdrawal can prevent them from forming new relationships or deepening existing ones, as they may avoid situations where socialization occurs, thinking that their loneliness will be perceived negatively. Consequently, this avoidance behavior reinforces their loneliness, creating a self-perpetuating cycle that can be difficult to escape. Interestingly, loneliness can also distort perceptions of social connections. When people feel lonely, they might interpret neutral or even positive social interactions as negative. For instance, a friendly comment from a coworker may be perceived as insincere, or an invitation to a gathering might be seen as an obligation rather than an opportunity for connection. This misinterpretation can lead to further withdrawal, making it even harder to cultivate meaningful relationships. In contrast, individuals who feel connected and supported are more likely to engage in social activities, fostering a sense of community and belonging. When someone is lonely, they may project their feelings onto others, which can create a barrier to genuine connection. For example, if a person approaches social situations with a sense of desperation for connection, it may come off as clingy or overly needy, which can push others away rather than draw them in. Conversely, individuals who feel secure in their social connections tend to approach interactions with openness and positivity, making them more approachable and relatable. Additionally, loneliness can play a significant role in mental and physical health, further complicating social dynamics. Research has shown that chronic loneliness can lead to various health issues, including increased stress levels. Paradox of responsibility refers to a situation where leaders are held accountable for the outcomes of their decisions, yet they often have limited control over the circumstances that influence those outcomes. This paradox highlights the tension between the expectations placed on leaders and the complexities of decision-making in dynamic environments. For instance, a leader might be responsible for a team's performance, but if external factors like market fluctuations or unexpected events impact that performance, it raises questions about the fairness of holding the leader solely accountable. This paradox is particularly relevant in leadership because it underscores the importance of understanding that responsibility does not always equate to control. Leaders are often expected to navigate challenges and provide direction, yet they must also recognize the limits of their influence. Effective leadership involves balancing accountability with an awareness of the broader context, which can include factors such as team dynamics, organizational culture, and external pressure. Leaders who understand this paradox are better equipped to foster resilience and adaptability within their teams, as they can encourage a culture where learning from failures is valued, rather than solely focusing on blame. This perspective allows leaders to create an environment where team members feel empowered to take risks and innovate, knowing that not every outcome can be predicted or controlled. Moreover, the paradox of responsibility can lead to a more collaborative approach to leadership, where leaders seek input and share decision-making with their teams, recognizing that collective efforts can lead to better outcomes. In this way, the paradox serves as a reminder that while leaders play a crucial role in guiding their organizations, the complexities of the world require more nuanced understanding of responsibility, one that encompasses both accountability and the unpredictable nature of leadership itself. The paradox of freedom is a fascinating concept, one that explores the tension between the desire for personal autonomy and the constraints that often come with that freedom. At its core, it suggests that while we crave the ability to make our own choices sometimes, the very abundance of choices can lead to confusion, anxiety, or even paralysis. For instance, imagine standing in front of a wall of cereal options at a grocery store, each box promising something different, whether it's health benefits, taste, or price. The freedom to choose in such cases can become overwhelming, leading you to spend more time deciding than actually enjoying your breakfast. This paradox also plays out in deeper life decisions, such as choosing a career path or a life partner. With so many possibilities available, the fear of making the wrong choice can overshadow the excitement of having options. People may find themselves stuck in analysis paralysis, overthinking every potential outcome and worrying that they might miss out on something better. This can lead to a sense of dissatisfaction, as individuals may constantly compare their choices to others, wondering if they could have made a better decision. Moreover, the paradox of freedom is closely related to the concept of commitment. When individuals are presented with too many choices, they may struggle to commit to one option, fearing that they are locking themselves out of other possibilities. This fear can make it difficult to form deep relationships, pursue a specific career, or even choose a hobby. The desire to keep options open can lead to a more superficial engagement with life, as the fear of missing out prevents a meaningful commitment to any one path. On a psychological level, this paradox can also influence personal happiness. Research suggests that individuals who have fewer options often report higher levels of satisfaction than those with many choices. This phenomenon highlights the idea that sometimes limitations can enhance our enjoyment and appreciation of what we do choose. When we narrow our focus, we can invest more time and energy into the choices we make, leading to a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose. Additionally, the paradox of freedom can affect how we view responsibility. With freedom comes the weight of responsibility for our choices, and this can be daunting. Individuals may feel pressure to make the right choice, which can lead to stress and second-guessing. This, in turn, can affect mental health and overall well-being, as the burden of choice can become a source of anxiety rather than freedom. In essence, the paradox of freedom challenges us. The paradox of expertise refers to an interesting phenomenon where, as individuals become more skilled or knowledgeable in a particular area, they might actually become less open-minded and more rigid in their thinking. This occurs because experts, due to their deep understanding and experience, can develop a certain level of confidence in their views, which, while valuable, may also lead them to overlook alternative perspectives or new information that contradicts their established beliefs. This can create a sort of tunnel vision, where the expert is so focused on their specialized knowledge that they fail to see the bigger picture or consider different approaches. Consequently, their expertise can limit their ability to think creative. For example, in fields like medicine, a doctor who has been practicing for many years might stick to traditional treatments, even when new research suggests more effective methods. This doesn't mean the expert's knowledge is invalid, but it highlights a potential pitfall, where their familiarity with certain practices makes them hesitant to embrace innovation or change. The paradox is that while expertise is generally seen as an asset, it can sometimes create barriers to broader thinking. Furthermore, experts may struggle to communicate their knowledge to those who are less informed, as they might assume a level of understanding that simply isn't there, leading to misunderstandings or ineffective teaching. This challenge can also be seen in areas like technology, where engineers or developers may become so engrossed in the technical details of their work that they lose sight of user experience or the needs of the general public. In these cases, the expertise that helps them excel in their field can also prevent them from seeing issues from a user's perspective, which can result in products that, while highly advanced, may not meet the practical needs of users. Therefore, while expertise is crucial, it's important for experts to remain aware of this paradox and strive for a balance between confidence in their knowledge and openness to new ideas, perspectives, and the ever-evolving landscape of their field. This awareness can help mitigate the risks associated with the paradox of expertise, ensuring that their contributions remain relevant and impactful, thus enriching the discourse in their area of specialization. The paradox of commitment can be quite intriguing, especially when we dive into how it shapes relationships. At its core, this paradox suggests that the very act of committing to one person can lead to feelings of restriction or fear of missing out on other potential relationships, which may, in turn, create anxiety or uncertainty within the partnership. When two individuals decide to commit to each other, they often feel a sense of security, which can foster deeper emotional connections, yet, paradoxically, this commitment can also bring about doubts and temptations, as people might start to wonder what they are giving up by not exploring other options. This feeling can be intensified in a world where numerous opportunities for connection exist, especially with the rise of dating apps and social media, which expose individuals to a vast array of potential partners. As one partner becomes more invested, the other may start to feel pressure, which can lead to a push and pull dynamic. It's common for one person to thrive on the closeness and intimacy that comes with commitment, while the other may feel constrained, longing for the freedom that single life offers. Moreover, this paradox can lead to what psychologists refer to as the commitment phobia, where one partner is hesitant to take the plunge into deeper commitment, fearing the loss of personal freedom or the potential for heartbreak. Such fears can create a rift, leading to misunderstandings and potential conflicts. In relationships, the balance of wanting to be committed while also wanting to feel free is delicate, and finding harmony in these desires is crucial for the health of the relationship. Communication plays a vital role in navigating this paradox, as partners need to express their feelings, fears, and desires openly to foster understanding and connection. When both individuals are aware of the paradox and willing to work through it together, they can create a stronger bond that incorporates both commitment and the appreciation of each other's individuality. In the end, while the paradox of commitment can be challenging, it also presents an opportunity for growth, learning, and deeper intimacy when approached with empathy and honesty. The paradox of empathy refers to a fascinating phenomenon where, despite empathy being widely regarded as a positive trait that fosters connection, understanding, and compassion among individuals, it can also lead to unintended negative consequences in interpersonal dynamics. On one hand, empathy allows people to feel and share the emotions of others, creating bonds and facilitating social cohesion. It helps us respond to the needs and feelings of those around us, leading to supportive relationships and a sense of community. However, the paradox arises when we consider that deeply empathizing with someone's suffering can sometimes lead to emotional overwhelm, burnout, or even disengagement, particularly in situations where one feels helpless to alleviate another's pain. When individuals are exposed to the intense emotions of others, they may experience a kind of emotional fatigue, which can hinder their ability to help effectively. This can create a cycle where the empathizer, rather than providing support, might withdraw or become less available, ultimately leading to strained relationships. Moreover, empathy can sometimes lead to biased decision-making where individuals favor those they connect with emotionally, potentially at the expense of fairness or objectivity. For instance, a teacher who empathizes more with one student may inadvertently neglect the needs of another simply because they resonate more with that student's struggles. Additionally, in professional settings, excessive empathy can blur boundaries, leading to issues such as compassion fatigue among caregivers, social workers, and even medical professionals, who may find themselves emotionally drained from their work. They may begin to struggle with their own mental health, making it difficult to maintain the very care and compassion that fuel their desire to help others in the first place. Furthermore, the paradox of empathy can also manifest in group dynamics. When a group becomes overly empathetic, it may prioritize emotional considerations over rational decision-making, leading to groupthink, where dissenting opinions are suppressed in favor of harmony. This can stifle innovation and critical thinking, as members may feel pressured to conform to the group's emotional state rather than voicing their genuine thoughts or concerns. In relationships, empathy can sometimes lead to an imbalance, where one person becomes the emotional caretaker while the other becomes more passive, leading to feelings of resentment or dependency. This dynamic can create tension, as one partner may feel overwhelmed by the emotional labor, while the other may feel unsupported or misunderstood. Thus, while empathy is undeniably a powerful tool for connection, the paradox of empathy highlights the importance of balance. It reminds us that while we should strive to, the paradox of mindfulness, which might seem puzzling at first, actually plays a significant role in mental well-being, and it's fascinating to explore how this concept unfolds. Mindfulness, in essence, is about being fully present, aware of your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. But the paradox arises when we consider that the very act of trying to be mindful can sometimes lead to increased anxiety or self-criticism. For instance, people who practice mindfulness may initially approach it with high expectations, believing that they should always feel calm and centered. However, when they experience distracting thoughts or emotions during mindfulness exercises, this can lead to frustration and a sense of failure, which ironically detracts from the intended benefits of mindfulness practice. Research has shown that while mindfulness can enhance emotional regulation and promote resilience, it can also trigger negative feelings if individuals focus excessively on their perceived shortcomings in their practice. The key here lies in the acceptance of the present moment, including any uncomfortable thoughts or feelings that arise, rather than striving for an ideal state of tranquility. Embracing this paradox can actually lead to greater self-compassion and understanding, allowing individuals to recognize that experiencing a range of emotions is a natural part of life, which, in turn, enhances overall mental well-being. Additionally, studies indicate that mindfulness can positively influence brain function, with regular practice potentially leading to changes in areas of the brain associated with emotional regulation, attention, and self-awareness. However, the paradox emerges when individuals feel pressured to practice mindfulness correctly, which can create a sense of obligation rather than a genuine practice of presence. This pressure can lead to burnout or disengagement from the practice altogether, highlighting the importance of approaching mindfulness with a sense of curiosity and playfulness, rather than rigid expectations. In essence, the paradox of mindfulness underscores the importance of flexibility in our approach to mental well-being. By acknowledging that the journey of mindfulness is not always smooth and that it includes ups and downs, individuals can cultivate a more compassionate relationship with themselves, ultimately allowing mindfulness to serve as a powerful tool for enhancing mental health. This acceptance of the paradox allows for a deeper understanding of one's own mental landscape, fostering growth and resilience in the face of life's challenges. The paradox of ambition refers to the complex relationship between a person's drive for success and the potential negative consequences that can arise from such ambition. On one hand, ambition can motivate individuals to pursue their goals, strive for excellence, and achieve great things, but on the other hand, it can also create a relentless pressure to perform, which may ultimately lead to burnout. This paradox occurs when the very qualities that fuel a person's ambition, such as high expectations, perfectionism, and a strong desire to succeed, become overwhelming, resulting in stress and exhaustion. Many ambitious individuals often find themselves caught in a cycle where they set increasingly high standards, pushing themselves to work harder and achieve more. While this drive can lead to impressive accomplishments, it can also lead to feelings of inadequacy, as the individual constantly compares themselves to others or their own past achievements. This comparison can create a sense of never being satisfied, which is a key contributor to burnout. When the drive for success turns into a fear of failure, it can trigger anxiety, a sense of hopelessness, and a relentless pursuit of goals that may not even align with one's true desires or values. Additionally, the pressure to always be on and to continually produce can lead to a lack of balance in life, where personal well-being, relationships, and self-care take a back seat. The ambition that once served as a motivational force can transform into an overwhelming burden, as the individual may neglect rest, recreation, and relaxation, all of which are crucial for maintaining mental and physical health. In this way, the paradox becomes evident. What starts as a positive trait can spiral into a source of distress and exhaustion, as the ambitious individual finds themselves trapped in a never-ending cycle of striving without adequate time to recharge or reflect on their true motivations. Furthermore, societal expectations often exacerbate the paradox of ambition, as many cultures celebrate hustle and relentless pursuit of success, creating an environment where taking breaks or prioritizing well-being is viewed as a sign of weakness. This can lead to a toxic work culture, where employees feel they must continually prove their worth, leading to increased stress and a higher likelihood of burnout. Ultimately, recognizing this paradox is crucial, as it highlights the importance of setting realistic goals, practicing self-compassion, and understanding that ambition, while a powerful motivator, should not come at the expense of one's health and happiness. The paradox of risk, a fascinating concept in behavioral finance, illustrates how investors often perceive risk in a way that contradicts logical reasoning. Investors generally aim to maximize returns while minimizing risk. Yet, when faced with certain investment choices, their decisions can lead them to behave irrationally. For instance, many individuals tend to shy away from investments that have the potential for high returns, simply because they are associated with higher risks, while at the same time, they might engage in risky behavior by investing in assets that have lower expected returns, simply because they feel more comfortable with them. This creates a contradiction, as the perceived safety of a low-return investment can, in fact, be more detrimental in the long run. The key aspect of this paradox is the concept of loss aversion, which suggests that people are more sensitive to losses than they are to equivalent gains. This means that the fear of losing money can lead investors to make overly conservative decisions, opting for safer investments that might not yield significant growth. In moments of market volatility, this tendency is magnified, as investors can panic and pull out of investments at inopportune times, locking in losses rather than allowing their investments to recover. This behavior can be detrimental, as it often leads to missed opportunities for growth. Additionally, the way investments are framed can also play a significant role in decision-making. For example, if an investment is presented as having a 90% chance of success, it might seem appealing, while an investment with a 10% chance of failure can evoke fear, even though both scenarios represent the same underlying situation. This framing effect can skew perceptions of risk, causing investors to overlook potentially profitable opportunities simply due to how the information is presented. Moreover, the paradox of risk is exacerbated by the availability heuristic, where individuals base their judgments on readily available information rather than on a comprehensive analysis of the potential risks and rewards. This means that if an investor has recently heard about a market crash or a financial scandal, they may overestimate the risks involved in investing, leading them to avoid certain investments that could actually be quite sound. This cognitive bias can severely limit their investment choices, causing them to miss out on lucrative opportunities. Furthermore, social influences also play a critical role in how risk is perceived and acted upon. Investors often look to peers, social media, or financial news for guidance on what to invest in, which can lead to herd behavior. When everyone appears to be avoiding a particular asset due to the potential hurt of simplicity, refers to the intriguing idea that, while simplicity is often desired and sought after in various aspects of life, achieving simplicity can sometimes lead to increased complexity and complications. This concept suggests that in our quest to simplify our lives, whether it's our schedules, our spaces, or even our relationships, we may inadvertently create new challenges and complexities. For example, consider the minimalist lifestyle that many people strive for. While the goal is to reduce clutter and distractions, the process of decluttering can be overwhelming. As individuals confront their attachment to belongings, the emotional weight of memories tied to objects, and the effort required to make decisions about what to keep or discard. This struggle can lead to stress and anxiety, turning a seemingly simple task into a complicated emotional journey. Moreover, in the realm of technology, the drive for simplicity often leads to the creation of user-friendly products. Yet those very products can become overly simplified to the point where they lack essential features, leaving users frustrated and searching for more complex solutions. This is evident in software applications that prioritize a clean interface but sacrifice functionality, compelling users to seek additional tools or extensions that complicate their original intent of simplifying their workflow. In relationships, the desire for clear communication and straightforward interactions can lead to misunderstandings, as individuals may avoid difficult conversations in the name of simplicity, ultimately resulting in unresolved issues that complicate the relationship further. The paradox emphasizes that striving for an uncomplicated life often requires navigating through layers of complexity, making it essential to recognize that simplicity and complexity are not opposites, but rather two sides of the same coin. Consequently, embracing this paradox can lead to a more mindful approach to how we simplify our lives, encouraging us to accept that some level of complexity is inevitable and, at times, necessary for genuine simplicity. The paradox of community, which suggests that while we find belonging in groups, we also risk losing parts of our individual identity, plays a significant role in shaping who we are. When people identify with a community, be it a cultural group, a religious organization, or even a social club, they often adopt shared values, beliefs, and behaviors that define that group. This can provide a sense of security and support, as communities often offer emotional backing and a network of connections. However, this strong sense of belonging can also lead individuals to conform, sometimes at the expense of their personal beliefs or uniqueness. For instance, a person might feel pressure to align their opinions with the majority within their community, leading to a dilution of their personal views. On the flip side, engaging with a community can serve as a mirror, reflecting aspects of oneself that may not have been recognized before. As individuals interact with others who have different backgrounds and experiences, they often discover new perspectives that can enrich their understanding of themselves. This interaction can spark self-reflection, prompting individuals to reassess their values, leading them to either reinforce their identity or adapt to new influences. Moreover, the paradox arises in the way communities can simultaneously empower and constrain personal expression. When individuals find a community that resonates with their personal experiences, they may feel encouraged to express themselves more openly. For example, an artist might flourish in a community of fellow creatives, where shared passions inspire them to explore their art more deeply. Yet if that same community has rigid expectations, the artist might feel stifled, as the fear of not meeting those expectations could hinder their creative expression. Additionally, the paradox of community can be particularly evident in online spaces, where individuals can connect with like-minded people across the globe. While these digital communities can offer a sense of belonging, they can also lead to an echo chamber effect, where only similar ideas are validated, making it challenging for individuals to maintain their unique voice. In such environments, the pressure to conform can be intense, as social media metrics often reward conformity over individuality. In essence, the paradox of community contributes to personal identity by creating a dynamic tension between belonging and individuality. This interplay encourages a constant negotiation, where individuals must balance their desire to fit in with their need to remain authentic. As people navigate this tension, they often develop a more nuanced sense of who they are, shaped by both their affiliations and their personal experiences. Ultimately, the way this paradox manifests varies from person to person. The paradox of patience refers to the idea that while patience is often associated with long-term success, it can also lead to inaction or complacency if taken to an extreme. This concept suggests that being patient, in the sense of waiting for the right moment or for outcomes to unfold, can sometimes hinder progress, especially in a fast-paced world where immediate action is often required to seize opportunities. In this paradox, those who are overly patient may miss out on chances that demand quick decision-making and prompt action, while those who balance patience with a sense of urgency tend to achieve their goals more effectively. This balance is crucial as it encourages individuals to remain persistent and focused on their long-term objectives, but also to recognize when it's time to take decisive steps toward those objectives. Studies in psychology and behavioral economics have shown that individuals who can navigate this paradox tend to be more successful. They understand that patience in pursuing a goal is important, but they also appreciate the need for timely action. This understanding can be especially relevant in various fields, from business to personal development, where waiting too long can lead to lost opportunities. In competitive environments, the ability to act promptly while still maintaining a patient and strategic mindset often sets successful individuals apart from others. Moreover, the paradox of patience highlights the importance of setting clear timelines and milestones while working on long-term projects. When people set specific deadlines for their goals, they encourage themselves to take action rather than getting stuck in a waiting mode. This approach can lead to greater achievement, as it combines the virtues of patience with the necessity of timely execution. In essence, the paradox of patience teaches us that while it's essential to be patient, it's equally important to be proactive, ensuring that we are not just waiting for success, but actively working towards it, making incremental progress along the way. The paradox of security refers to the idea that while having a sense of safety and stability is essential for well-being, an overemphasis on security can actually hinder personal growth and development. When individuals become too focused on maintaining security, they may avoid risks and challenges that are necessary for growth. This can create a cycle where the desire for security leads to stagnation, as people stay in their comfort zones, avoiding new experiences and limiting their potential. For instance, a person might choose a stable job that feels secure, even if it doesn't align with their passions or ambitions, thus sacrificing opportunities for learning and personal fulfillment. On the other hand, stepping outside of one's comfort zone, embracing uncertainty, and taking calculated risks can lead to new skills, greater resilience, and a deeper understanding of oneself. This tension between the need for security and the need for growth is a common struggle, as many people grapple with the fear of failure, which is often heightened by a desire for safety. In this way, the paradox of security can act as a double-edged sword. While it provides a foundation from which to explore and grow, it can also become a barrier when the need for security overshadows the desire for adventure and self-discovery. Ultimately, finding a balance between seeking security and embracing the unknown is crucial for personal development, as it allows individuals to navigate life's challenges, learn from experiences, and evolve into more well-rounded, fulfilled versions of themselves. The paradox of comparison refers to the complex and often contradictory ways in which comparing ourselves to others can affect our self-esteem. On one hand, we often find ourselves measuring our achievements, successes, and even our happiness against those of our peers, friends, or even celebrities, leading to a natural inclination to evaluate our self-worth based on these comparisons. This can create a sense of motivation, pushing us to strive for improvement or to achieve more as we see what others have accomplished. However, there is a flip side to this phenomenon. When we constantly compare ourselves to those who seem to be doing better, it can result in feelings of inadequacy, inferiority, or envy. This negative impact on self-esteem can be particularly pronounced in a world dominated by social media, where curated images of success and happiness often present an unrealistic picture of life. People might scroll through their feeds, seeing friends on lavish vacations, enjoying perfect relationships, or achieving career milestones, and feel as if they are falling short, despite being unaware of the struggles that lie behind those polished moments. Interestingly, The paradox of comparison highlights that the results of comparison can vary depending on the context and the individuals involved. For instance, comparing ourselves to those who are worse off can sometimes boost our self-esteem, making us feel better about our situation. This is known as downward comparison, and while it may offer a momentary boost, it can also lead to complacency, as we might not feel the drive to improve ourselves. Conversely, upward comparison, where we look at individuals who are doing better, can inspire us to reach for our goals, but it can also lead to discouragement if we feel that those achievements are unattainable. The paradox lies in the fact that both types of comparison can coexist within our minds, leading to a push-pull effect on our self-perception. Psychological studies have shown that the impact of comparison is not universal. It can differ based on personality traits, such as individual resilience or the tendency toward self-criticism. Additionally, cultural factors play a role in how we perceive ourselves in relation to others. In collectivist cultures, for example, the emphasis may be on group harmony and social cohesion, affecting how comparisons are made and experienced. In contrast, in more individualistic societies, personal achievement and competition might dominate, influencing the frequency and nature of comparisons. Ultimately, the paradox of comparison reminds us that while it can serve as a source of motivation, it can also trap. The paradox of routine, while it might seem counterintuitive, plays a significant role in enhancing creativity. At first glance, routines may appear to confine us, trapping our thoughts and actions within predictable patterns. But in reality, they can create a solid foundation from which creativity can flourish. When we establish routines, we free up mental energy, allowing our brains to focus on more complex creative tasks. This happens because a well-structured routine reduces decision fatigue. When we don't have to think about the small, everyday choices, we can reserve our cognitive resources for innovative thinking and problem-solving. Moreover, routines provide a sense of stability and security, which can be incredibly beneficial for creative expression. In a world filled with chaos and uncertainty, having a routine can anchor us, giving our minds the clarity they need to explore new ideas. When we know what to expect from our day, we can feel more relaxed and open, allowing unexpected thoughts to emerge. For many artists, writers, and inventors, the act of following a set routine can spark inspiration, as the repetitive nature of their tasks allows their subconscious mind to connect dots in ways it might not otherwise do. Interestingly, the interplay between routine and spontaneity is crucial. While routines can provide structure, it's also essential to allow for moments of spontaneity and unpredictability. This means breaking free from the routine occasionally to explore new experiences, meet different people, or try out new activities. This blend of routine and spontaneity can lead to what is often referred to as creative collision, where ideas come together in unexpected ways, paving the way for innovative thinking. In addition, the brain benefits from the regularity that routine brings, as it can strengthen neural pathways associated with certain tasks and activities. This neurological reinforcement can lead to greater efficiency and proficiency in creative tasks, as the brain becomes adept at making connections and generating ideas within the context of the established routine. The more familiar we become with a particular routine, the more our minds can wander and explore, leading to those aha moments that are often the hallmark of creative breakthroughs. Furthermore, the paradox of routine also highlights the importance of discipline in the creative process. Many successful creators emphasize the necessity of showing up consistently, even when inspiration feels lacking. This discipline can transform the act of creation into a habit, allowing creativity to become a regular part of life rather than a sporadic event. By committing to a routine, individuals often find that creativity flows more freely over. The paradox of authenticity is a fascinating concept that explores the tension between the desire to be true to oneself and the pressures of social expectations, which can significantly affect how we express our identities. On one hand, many people strive for authenticity, wanting to present themselves genuinely without masks or pretenses. They seek to express their true thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, often believing that this authenticity will lead to deeper connections with others and a more fulfilling life. However, the paradox arises when this very pursuit of authenticity becomes influenced by societal norms and cultural expectations, which can create a conflict. For instance, individuals may feel compelled to conform to certain standards of what it means to be authentic, based on trends, popular opinions, or what's seen as socially acceptable. This can lead to a situation where, instead of expressing their true selves, people end up presenting a version that they believe is expected or approved by others, thereby diluting their genuine self-expression. Moreover, in the age of social media, this paradox intensifies, as platforms often encourage users to curate their identities, showcasing specific aspects of their lives while hiding others. The pressure to present an idealized version of oneself can distort the essence of authenticity. Individuals may find themselves caught in a cycle of seeking validation through likes and comments, which can further complicate their self-expression, as they might begin to prioritize external approval over their own feelings and thoughts. This can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction, anxiety, and even a sense of inauthenticity. The more someone tries to be authentic, the more they might feel the weight of external expectations, creating a sort of identity crisis where they question what it truly means to be themselves. In addition, the paradox of authenticity can also manifest in various social contexts, including workplaces, friendships, and family dynamics. People may grapple with the idea of being open about their true selves in environments that may not feel safe or accepting. The fear of judgment or rejection can prevent individuals from expressing their authentic thoughts and feelings, leading to a disconnect between who they are and how they present themselves. This struggle can be particularly pronounced for those belonging to marginalized groups, who may face additional pressures to conform to societal norms that do not reflect their true identity. Ultimately, the paradox of authenticity highlights the complex interplay between individual identity and social dynamics, urging us to reflect on how we navigate our self-expression in a world that often imposes conflicting expectations. It encourages a deeper understanding of ourselves, as the paradox of gratitude is a fascinating concept that can significantly shape our perspective on life, often in unexpected ways. At first glance, gratitude seems simple. It's about appreciating what we have, yet the paradox lies in how. This appreciation can lead to a complex array of emotions and thoughts. When we express gratitude, we acknowledge the good things in our lives, which can elevate our mood and enhance our overall well-being. However, this same act can also remind us of what we lack. For instance, when we are grateful for a friend's support, it may simultaneously highlight our own struggles or loneliness, making us feel a sense of longing for deeper connections. This push and pull is part of what makes gratitude a paradox. It brings joy while also stirring feelings of inadequacy or loss. Moreover, the paradox of gratitude can influence our relationships with others. On one hand, being grateful fosters stronger bonds, as expressing appreciation can deepen connections and encourage positive interactions. On the other hand, it can lead to feelings of obligation or guilt, especially if we feel we cannot reciprocate the kindness we have received. This dynamic creates a tension between feeling grateful and feeling burdened by the expectations that come with those feelings, which can complicate our emotional landscape. Thus, while gratitude can enhance our relationships, it can also introduce a sense of pressure to maintain those relationships or to live up to the kindness shown to us. Additionally, the paradox of gratitude is evident in how it shapes our worldview. Individuals who practice gratitude tend to have a more optimistic outlook as they focus on the positive aspects of their lives. However, this focus can also lead to a tendency to overlook or downplay real challenges and difficulties. For example, someone might feel grateful for their job, but in doing so they might ignore the stress and dissatisfaction that come with it. This selective focus can create a skewed perception of reality, where one is overly focused on the positive, potentially leading to a disconnect from genuine feelings and experiences. Interestingly, the paradox of gratitude can also influence our mental health. Research shows that practicing gratitude can reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety, making us feel more content. Yet, this can lead to a surface-level happiness where we feel we should be grateful, but underneath we struggle with feelings of discontent. In this way, gratitude can serve as both a balm for our spirits and a motivation. The paradox of motivation is a fascinating concept that highlights a counterintuitive aspect of human behavior, particularly in how we pursue our goals. At its core, this paradox suggests that the very things we often believe will motivate us, such as rewards or external validation, can sometimes undermine our intrinsic motivation, which is the internal drive to do something for its own sake. This means that when people become too focused on external rewards like money or praise, they might lose the passion and enjoyment for the activity itself. For instance, think about a child who loves drawing. If that child begins to receive rewards for their artwork, such as prizes or compliments, they might start to associate drawing with those rewards rather than the joy of creating. Consequently, when the rewards are no longer present, the child may lose interest in drawing altogether, leading to a decline in creativity and engagement. This paradox can also be observed in various settings, including workplaces and educational environments. When employees are heavily incentivized with bonuses or promotions, they may initially feel motivated, but over time, the pressure to achieve those incentives can create anxiety and diminish their intrinsic interest in their work. Similarly, students who are overly focused on grades may lose sight of the joy of learning, becoming just as fixated on achieving high marks as they are on understanding the material. Research in psychology supports this paradox, indicating that when individuals are intrinsically motivated, they are more likely to engage deeply with tasks, leading to better performance and greater satisfaction. On the other hand, when motivation is primarily driven by external factors, people may experience decreased creativity, lower quality of work, and even burnout. This phenomenon can manifest in various ways, including procrastination or a reluctance to set ambitious goals, as the fear of not achieving the external rewards can become paralyzing. Moreover, the paradox of motivation is not just limited to personal pursuits. It can also affect teams and organizations. When teams are driven primarily by competitive rewards, like bonuses for meeting targets, collaboration and shared goals can take a back seat. In contrast, fostering a culture of intrinsic motivation, where team members are encouraged to pursue their interests and passions, can lead to more innovative solutions and a stronger sense of community. Understanding this paradox is crucial for anyone pursuing goals, whether personal or professional. It emphasizes the importance of finding a balance between external rewards and internal satisfaction. Focusing on the process, enjoying the journey, and recognizing personal growth can lead to more sustainable motivation. The paradox of time management is a fascinating concept that often leaves people puzzled, even though it greatly influences productivity. At its core, this paradox suggests that the more we try to manage our time, the more we may feel overwhelmed, leading to decreased productivity. When individuals become overly focused on planning every minute of their day, they might find themselves stuck in a cycle of procrastination, as they spend too much time organizing instead of actually doing. This situation can create a sense of pressure, where the fear of not using time efficiently leads to anxiety, which in turn can paralyze decision-making and action. Moreover, there's the issue of perfectionism, which often accompanies strict time management. People may set unrealistic goals, believing they need to accomplish every task to perfection within a set time frame. This mindset can lead to frustration, as the constant striving for an unattainable ideal may cause them to neglect simple yet important tasks or to abandon projects altogether due to the fear that the outcome won't meet their own high expectations. As a result, rather than boosting productivity, this level of control can actually hinder it, causing individuals to miss deadlines or fail to complete necessary work. Another interesting aspect of the time management paradox is the impact of multitasking. Many people believe that by juggling multiple tasks simultaneously, they can accomplish more in less time. However, studies show that multitasking can reduce overall productivity, as the brain struggles to switch between tasks, leading to decreased focus and increased time needed to complete each task. This constant shifting can create a false sense of efficiency, while in reality it may slow down progress and increase the likelihood of errors. Additionally, the paradox extends into the realm of technology. With numerous apps and tools available to help manage time better, many individuals find themselves spending more time learning these systems or trying to optimize their schedules, rather than actually executing their work. This reliance on technology can create a false sense of security, where people believe they are being productive while in fact they are simply caught in a loop of planning and restructuring instead of taking meaningful actions. Furthermore, there's a psychological element at play as well. When individuals set strict time limits, they can experience a phenomenon known as the time scarcity effect, where they feel they have less time to complete their tasks, leading to stress and diminished performance. This pressure can trigger a fight-or-flight response, causing individuals to either freeze up and not work effectively or to rush through tasks. The paradox of belonging refers to the complex relationship between the need for social connection and the desire for individuality, highlighting how these two fundamental human needs can sometimes conflict with one another. On one hand, belonging is a deeply ingrained human desire. People seek out groups, communities, and relationships that provide a sense of acceptance and support. This yearning for connection can be seen in various aspects of life, from friendships to family ties, and even in larger social groups, such as religious or cultural communities. However, as individuals immerse themselves in these groups, they may find that their unique identities, beliefs, and preferences can become overshadowed by the norms and expectations of the group. This is where the paradox arises. While individuals crave belonging, they also value their distinctiveness, which can lead to feelings of tension or discomfort when conformity seems required. For instance, in many workplaces, employees are encouraged to collaborate and work in harmony with their teams, fostering a sense of belonging and community. Yet this can sometimes come at the expense of personal creativity and innovation. Employees might feel pressured to align with the group's ideas, stifling their individuality in the process. Similarly, in social circles, individuals might suppress their true selves to fit in, leading to a phenomenon known as social masking, where one's authentic self is hidden behind a facade, crafted to meet the expectations of others. Moreover, this dynamic is particularly evident in adolescence, a critical period for identity formation. Teenagers are often torn between the desire to fit in with their peers, which can lead to adopting certain behaviors or styles, and the need to express their own unique identities, which can sometimes result in feelings of isolation. This struggle can lead to significant emotional challenges, as young people navigate friendships and societal pressures while trying to stay true to themselves. In the digital age, this paradox of belonging takes on new dimensions, as social media platforms create environments where individuals can connect with others across the globe. While these platforms can foster a sense of community and belonging, they can also create unrealistic standards and expectations, leading individuals to curate their online personas, often at the cost of authenticity. The constant comparison to others can intensify feelings of inadequacy and conflict, as users grapple with the desire for acceptance alongside their individual self-expression. Ultimately, the paradox of belonging invites deeper reflection on how we can find a balance between our connections with others and our need for individuality. Recognizing that the paradox of learning, which suggests that the more we learn, the more we realize how much we don't know, plays a significant role in shaping our approach to lifelong education, creating a compelling dynamic that encourages continuous growth and curiosity. As individuals engage with new information, concepts, and skills, they often find themselves confronted with the vastness of knowledge that exists beyond their current understanding, leading to a deeper appreciation of the learning process itself. This recognition can spark a desire to explore further, motivating learners to pursue additional education, training, or experiences, thus fostering a mindset that values ongoing learning as an integral part of life. In this context, lifelong education becomes not just a means to acquire skills for career advancement or personal development, but rather an enriching journey that embraces the idea that learning is never truly complete. This realization can lead to a more adaptable and resilient attitude in learners as they become more open to change and willing to seek out new opportunities for growth, whether through formal education, self-directed learning, online courses, or experiential learning. The paradox encourages individuals to step outside their comfort zones, to challenge their assumptions and to engage with diverse perspectives, which can enhance critical thinking and creativity. Moreover, the paradox of learning can highlight the importance of a growth mindset, a concept popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck, which emphasizes the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. When learners understand that mastery is a continuous process, they are more likely to embrace challenges and view failures as valuable learning experiences rather than setbacks. This perspective is crucial in a rapidly changing world, where new technologies and ideas emerge constantly, and the ability to adapt becomes essential for personal and professional success. Additionally, the paradox can also influence how educational systems are designed, promoting a shift from traditional teaching methods that focus solely on rote memorization and standardized testing to more innovative approaches that encourage critical thinking, collaboration, and real-world application. In this light, educators become facilitators of learning, guiding students to discover knowledge for themselves and fostering an environment where questioning and exploration are encouraged. As we navigate the complexities of the modern world, the paradox of learning serves as a reminder that education is not merely about accumulating facts, but about cultivating a lifelong passion for discovery, ensuring that individuals remain engaged, curious, and prepared to face the challenges of an ever-evolving landscape. This shift in perspective can empower learners to take ownership of their educational journeys, embracing the idea that learning is a lifelong endeavor, rich